Hello, how are you? Today we'll be doing a little thing that I kinda did a few months ago at the beginning of the year, which is trying Ibis Paint phone version versus the PC. Why I decided to do this, I have a tendency to want to try things for people who don't have access to all these crazy things like graphic tablets or a computer or I don't know, expensive art supplies like Copics and Uhuhu markers or other stuff. Because, funny enough, I too did not have access to all these things for a very long time. So I want to show people that you can in fact use things. Okay, anything that you can think of you can use to make art. So, as you may see, I actually suffered a lot at the beginning of this because just to get one thing, okay, one thing, calm down. Just to get this one little thing out of the way. Ignore that my app is in Portuguese. I don't know why it is in Portuguese since I actually tend to use all of my programs in English. It really messed me up actually with my polyglot brain because I had to think in many languages all at once, so that was very unfortunate for me. But anyways, getting that out of the way. Let's just get straight into pure anger, okay? I don't know why Ibis Paint thought, wow, let's bring this app to the PC, and then decided to not make it not touch-based. What was your thought behind that? Yes, Ibis Paint for PC is touch-based. I don't know why. You don't do that, okay? You don't make a PC program that is touch-based. You make it PC-based, not phone-based. If you want a program to be for another thing, you make it for that thing. The same thing goes reverse. You don't make a PC program for a phone that isn't for a phone. I don't know why they did that. So every single time I was trying to use this app, I had to keep one hand just extended far into my mouse pad because I use a notebook, okay? But I call it a PC because same thing. And look, I keep my notebook at the back of my desk, far away from me, because I put my little graphic tablet in front of it. Good thing is that I'm a very long person, so my arm is long, but still, it was not comfortable. So that was very annoying. And also, my shortcuts they were gone. They were completely gone. I don't know what they thought while making this, okay? Actually, I don't think that they thought a thing, because people probably were insisting that they wanted Ibis Paint for PC because the people who used Ibis Paint back in the day that then at some point decided to upgrade to a PC still wanted their Ibis Paint app because it's a decent app and they wanted it, so they gave it to them, but they didn't want to work on it, so they simply imported the whole program into a PC the way it was. That's probably what happened. I have no idea. I don't program apps. But it was very annoying, okay? So I had a sketch I made for this. I made a little idea for the concept of this in my mini sketchbook that I've shown in my shorts. You will see later. I will actually show you the actual sketch later. I'm drawing Selena, my beloved. I love her. And I wanted to make a nice pose with some perspective. Done by eye, of course, because I did not want to try and mess with this program. So I just did everything by eye. Plus, I like the way my drawings look a little bit wonky and clearly hand-drawn. Not to say that the ones that are made with specific rulers and blah blah blah, they are not hand-drawn. They are. If they are hand-drawn, they are hand-drawn. But I like a little bit of wonk in my drawings, okay? I think it's cute. Here I still did not have her boots figured out, so they're just normal boots. Now I have them figured out. They're really cool. Anyways, zooming. Never done that again. I'm never doing this. Look, this was horrible, okay? I'm never doing this again. Never. This was completely horrible. The thing is, my graphic tablet, which I use, which is a Huion H1169. Is that it? 1169p? Is that the one that I use? I bought this graphic tablet 5 years ago. No, way over 5 years ago at this point. And it has a little bar, a zooming bar, which I absolutely love, which is why I bought it. and it didn't work. This program just completely eliminated any type of shortcut except for Ctrl Z and Ctrl C and V. It was like, you think people need to zoom or do anything else other than that? H for like flipping horizontally? Never. It was so annoying. Jesus Christ. Flipping did not work. I had to go into the actual bar. Plus, the thing is, okay, I don't like the PC version. How do you call it? Interface. That one. That's the name. I don't like the interface for the PC version because it's simply imported for the app from the phone or tablet version. But the difference is you have a big screen and every single button is so far apart that you just have to scroll through it, making a huge motion of your arms like you're painting on a huge oil canvas that's like a meter long. Jesus Christ, it was horrible. Okay, I have to say it, not nice. It works for the phone and the tablet because it's closer together, it's a smaller screen. This wasn't. You already have your hand in a very uncomfortable position. Then you have to keep scrolling like your arm around your desk to try and reach it. Not that every single person has a huge tablet as well, right? I have a big one because, you know, I'm sorry. Anyways, also another thing. I'm simply complaining, okay? I'm mad at this. The brushes are horrendous. Even after messing with them, with how they work, they did not behave the way I wanted them to. And that was so annoying. The layer modes, same thing. They did not behave the same way that I thought they would in other apps. They did not do that. The only one that like worked the same way any other app did was the multiply mode. Everything else was so weird. And the thing is, I used other programs, okay? I've used Clip Studio Paint, I've used Paint Tool Sai, the first one and the second one, I've used Krita. Okay, I have a bit of knowledge in this funker here. Okay, I have some understanding, and I don't know why Ibis Paint works so differently. But it was very annoying. But one thing that I do love are the filters. The filters look so good and work so well. Messing with them is such a great experience. They do exactly what you want them to. There are so many fun ones. I don't like the AI option though, that's very suspicious. I loved adding noise and chromatic aberration and some color adjustments and all the different kinds of blurs that there are and whatnot. Just like I do in Krita, but even better because Krita has a really weird thing going on where you go into the deep depths of the internet and it's a very confusing thing. But filters in Ibis Paint are just so good that I actually consider sometimes importing my own pictures into Ibis and using the filters that they have here. But I never do that because, my god, the app is horrible on PC specifically. Okay, the end result though, it looks great. I like the way it looks. It looks clean and polished and has the effects of a screenshot from a show. I really like what I achieved with this, so in the end I'm still satisfied with the result, of course. I worked my way through this, right? I got what I wanted. Very annoying process though. It was painful to actually get my brain around, but sure. So now we get into the phone version, okay? So I had to screen record this vertically because I wouldn't be able to see anything otherwise if I tried to flip my phone. Okay, so we will have a vertical thing where I am standing beside the screen recorder version. I have no idea how this will look on an actual phone in the video, but here we are, right? So the phone version actually feels a lot better since everything is closer, right? Without a mile distance in between each button, so it's very easy to access things. Also, funny enough, touchscreen-based device for a touchscreen-based app works really well. I wonder why, huh? So I actually imported my sketch to give the phone version a good chance. You have that option there, right? You have a good camera already, right, on that device, so you might as well make use of it, which is what I did. And I did like sketch a bit over it just to, fix some things up, the usual stuff, right? And I used every single thing that I could for this guy because I had it available to me, so I might as well make use of it. That's not cheating. Why would it be? I have that available. If I draw on my little sketchbook, take a photo of it, and then import it and then draw on top of it, that's fine. I have that. For a PC, that's a lot harder to do since you have to take a picture and import it and then import it into the program and then fix things up. It's a process, right? But here you can just directly do that, so I did it. Now, okay, we'll get into early 2000s, a little recording with my Digicam, just so you know how I actually set this up to draw, because that's fun, and I love the feeling of nostalgia, so we might as well use that. I set my phone down beside my graphic tablet, right, which I connected through a USB-C adapter that comes with the tablet itself. And the tablet is big, so there actually is like a certain outline. I think that I'll actually have to import a photo of it here. It kind of works like this. This is the part where you can draw on, I don't know, it kind of replicates the phone screen onto the tablet itself, just in a bigger way, so you have a bit more space than on the phone itself. Honestly, this was really fun to draw. I don't know, it's just such a fun experience. It's so easy and lightweight and just so casual that I actually should do it more often, and I don't know why I don't, since I actually keep my USB-C adapter right beside me together with the tablet, so I can easily do this. But it's just really nice. It might seem cramped, but it's actually really comfortable. You can just sit like on your bed, or you can go outside if you wanted to draw like this. Plus, it just feels right for Ibis Paint. The drawing itself does look different in the end. It has a different finish, for me at least, than the PC version. It might be because the smaller screen impacts the way I draw, because I don't have the same amount of movement as the PC one. I don't know why. Or it's also because I have bad vision. So my eyes didn't want to push itself to actually see things well and put a lot of effort into it. Might be because of that. Now you're like, well, why don't you use your glasses? Which I actually do. I always use glasses to draw. It's the only time that I really wear my glasses. So I don't know. But in the end, the drawing does look good, so I'm happy about that. As I said, the reason I do these kind of things is because you can draw well on these different things. You can draw well on a phone, you can draw, like I even drew with charcoal that's meant for barbecue, okay, because I didn't want to buy a huge pack of charcoals, also because they're expensive here, but we don't get into that, okay. I have actually an artist friend who is amazing at what they do, and they draw on a phone, and every single time that they send me, first of all, that they draw a lot, and they just don't post it anywhere. So I'm really glad that I'm one of the few people who gets to see that, because my god, they draw well. It's actually impressive. And fun fact, I actually started doing digital drawings on a phone too, but that's because I'm stupid, okay? If you didn't know, when I was younger, which isn't even that young, I was just completely oblivious to the world. I didn't know what the art community was until like 2019. I also didn't know that graphic tablets existed until 2019. So I did not have a thought to go through my head of how people drew these digital drawings. Okay, for the longest time I thought that these were just screenshots from shows, these anime girls that you'd see online, until I realized artists drew those. And even then I thought like, man, how do these people draw these big, beautiful drawings with colored pencils? Because yes, I didn't even know what alcohol markers were back then. I was that stupid. So when I actually realized what graphic tablets were, I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense. So then I was young, so I just started like, I don't know. Not that I'm old now, okay? Guys, please. I might act like I'm 69, but I'm not. I'm an adult still, but you know. I was younger back then, so I bought one at some point when I got enough money for it, and I didn't have to buy anything else, so I bought that. But until then, I actually drew on a phone. At the time it was a Galaxy Note 3, which is very old and was very old back then already, but it had an S Pen, so I used that. And I don't know, it worked great. I remember that at the beginning I suffered a lot because I didn't know how these things worked. I did not understand layer modes and whatnot, but I easily got the hang of it. If you didn't know, actually, as well, if you haven't followed me for a while, from 2020 up until last year, I did not have a phone. And I remember that after a few months of not having a phone and like completely giving up on digital art because I did not understand it, I had used my mother's phone just because I wanted to experiment, and after watching like speed paints I finally understood layer modes, and it was really easy to get a hang of that, so that was something. But you know, after I bought my graphic tablet, I stopped using a phone to draw, so I kind of lost my ability for that. But still, it's decent, okay? You can use that. Ibis Paint is a decent app. It's not good, but it's decent. You can use it. I'm sure you can succeed and do amazing things on anything, really. It's not the tools that make the artist. The tools are just there to make certain things easier. In the end, I'm happy with both results. They look really cute, so I'm very nice with that. They have a nice quality to them. And I hope you have a nice day and night, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope to see you next time. Bye! I'm very happy about things. I don't know.